Big Scuba, Scuba Crazy, Blue Skidoo, all that. Finna react to inside the largest prison in Texas. I got so many tabs and stuff open, I don't even know what video is finna be next. But let's get into it. Tommy G. I believe it's Tommy G.
Welcome to the largest prison in Texas, Cofield.
Cofield, man.
Hello, fellas. How you guys doing today?
I'm the very first person convicted for murder off of social media.
You step up in an environment like this, it's like walking through an invisible landmine field. Gotta be careful how you walk.
Me and my partners went to his side of town, and we ended up jumping on his partners. That was the birth of the beef.
The Cofield Unit. It's a name that new arrivals to the...
And then that'd be crazy, like, and I'm just saying this, like, it could be like some inherited beef that's been going on 20 years, and then the whole situation be because, he pushed me, or it just be something even lighter than that, like, oh, he thought I took his sweater or something, or he, you know, but then they'll fight and something will happen, and then that should just go on and on forever.
The prison fear. For decades, it's carried a reputation as a brutal and unpredictable place. Located in Tennessee Colony and home to over 4,000 men, it is the largest prison in Texas. In cell walls, tensions can run high. There's racial conflict, gang rivalries, power struggles, and stabbings. Offenders here have taken lives, done armed robberies, and the most violent crimes you can imagine. Folks, this is a brutal place to be incarcerated. Like most prisons in Texas, it is without air conditioning, and here both inmates and staff suffer through temperatures that can reach over 110 degrees. So at work here are innovative programs that the Texas Department of Criminal Justice is piloting in an effort to rehabilitate these men so they can one day be well integrated back into society. The man that takes us into the Cofield Unit goes by Sambo. At one point, Sambo was a gang leader for one of the most powerful gangs in Texas. Of the 30 years he served in prison, 10 of them were in the Cofield Unit. He was once a man that had no regard for human life. But now, a changed man, he has dedicated his life to helping others break the cycle of violence and live a life built on purpose and positivity. Today, he brings us into the Cofield Unit to show us what he and the men have been working on. Join us now where no camera has gone before. Life is a mission, an adventure, a journey, and to those bold enough to dream and take action, treasure awaits them. So for the renegades, the outlaws, and the risk takers, this one's for you. This is the Underworld Collection, available only at TommyGMcGee.com.
We all know somebody that can do like crazy backflip, or just somebody that just used to be flipping off the jungle gym. I used to go crazy flipping off the swings.
We left Dallas early this morning. We took a lonesome highway road to Tennessee Colony, Texas. We're gonna be visiting the largest prison in Texas. The United States locks up more people than anywhere on earth by far. We lock up about 1% of our entire population of our country, which is a wild statistic. There are people here that haven't seen light of day as a free man for 10, 15, 20 plus years. And I'm eager to learn their stories, hear their experiences, and see how they deal with the concept of living in a cage for a good portion of their life. This, folks, will be unprecedented access to the Cofield Unit in Tennessee Colony, Texas.
Freedom members. How are you? How you doing, brother?
Hey, God bless you guys.
Tommy G.
Tommy Jose.
You know about me?
Yeah, I'm the one saying I'm Semble boy, man.
Man, how are you today?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Give the people the lay of the land. What's happening here?
Okay, so this is the chapel here on Cofield. These are some of my co-workers.
God bless you guys.
Let them introduce themselves.
Juan Ballesteros, man of peace, also a gatekeeper here.
What's a gatekeeper?
Gatekeeper is we talk to the guys when they first come in the unit, and we help them kind of transition into the new area, the environment that they're coming into. So yeah, we're kind of one of the first guys that they meet. So
And what is this unit known for?
well, back in the day, it was like rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Right? So it was really going down with gangs and all that.
To give you an idea of what we are walking into, let's give you some insights on the history of violence here at the Cofield Unit. In September of 2023, an inmate at Cofield Unit stabbed a guard. After he was restrained, the inmate was severely beaten by guards and hospitalized. 13 guards resigned or were fired shortly after. For a prison
Guards don't
facing
fight
staffing
fair.
shortages, incidents like this put further pressure on the guards. Also in September of 2023, Billy Chamirmir, killer of 22 women, died at the hands of his cellmate. And if you read the accounts written by inmates on prisonwriters.com, you'll see countless stories of men being stabbed, strangled, and extorted. So knowing full well the violence that lurked within these walls, my aim was to find the humanity within these men.
When I was there, it was a very violent, volatile environment. Violence is what set the standard. So I knew that my only method of progress would be to instill the most fear in as many people as possible.
Well, I got a little life sentence, right? I've been here 17 years. I was high on drugs, so drugs made me snatch a lady's purse, which gave me a life sentence. First time, second time down. First time was a DWI, 2-year sentence, and then they shot me with a life sentence 5 years later. I wasn't arrested, but I was rescued. So to me, that is a blessing.
I'm locked up for possession with intent to deliver. And I've been locked up for about to be 16
Well, I
years.
mean, he had a
Organized crime with murder, you know what I'm saying? One of my partners we went to go meet up to fight off inside this little parking lot or whatever, and in the midst of the fight supposed to happen, people started shooting, you know what I'm saying? Without saying something, you know.
I'm an ex-Mexican Mafia gang member. I spent almost 13 years with that family. I'm not proud to say, but I stabbed somebody 22 times.
Where were your parents in the picture?
Well, my dad he had his own issues, and my mama was there. My mama got 7 kids. She had 7 kids by the time she was 28. So I can't fathom being a 28-year-old single parent with 7 kids.
It sounds impossible.
Yes, and then 6 boys. But I realized as a grown-up, you know, that, man, it was like borderline impossible for my mama to do that stuff on her own. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up with my mama and my granny, really, you know what I'm saying, and my aunties and stuff like that, but my daddy, he was here and there. So growing up, man, my mama really, she was there, like, we was into like the church or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I started getting kind of tired of it. So, but my mama always told me to like do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Seeing for it's good and positive on me. But as I grew, I kind of got with the wrong crowd and I started seeing the money, the cars, the jewelry, you know, stuff like that, you know, typical neighborhood stuff, and things flourished into stuff that it wasn't supposed to be, which led me right here.
What message you have to the youth out there that are doing very risky things and they're not here yet, but they're on that path?
You gotta stop and think before you start doing, man, because it's gonna lead you in a bad situation, man. In prison, like, this is not what's up, you know what I'm saying? And if I could have thought back before what I did as a youngster, I would have did something differently, you know what I'm saying? So the same hood or the same people you doing it for, when you get here, not gonna be here.
What happened in your childhood and your upbringing that led to you becoming a killer?
So there's some things, man, that I've talked to very few people about. I was molested as a child, and because of it, man, it made me be a very, very angry individual. And I found out some things about myself with that anger, man. I embraced that anger and I turned to it for everything. I wouldn't let nobody get close to me. Just pushed everybody away. That anger was just always there and was quick to turn from anger to rage.
Is there any opportunities here for therapy or to talk through some of the things that you've seen in your life?
Well, I've talked to people who I know that are on the same page as I am, and changing and growing up in life. I've talked to them about these things. Some of them are shocked at, you know, the things that I talked to them about what's happened and, you know, where it led me.
My name is Kenneth Young, and I am the director at East Texas Hospitality House here in Tennessee Colony. What we do is we provide lodging and meals and encouragement to families who are visiting somebody who's incarcerated in the Tennessee Colony area. We have a gathering room in there, we have games, we have puzzles, we have places to sit, double beds with bunk beds. We've got different bedding arrangements for the different sizes of families.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they just need prayer and a hug, and to know that God's love is surrounding them, and they become part of our family when they come here. They mean more to us than just someone off the street because they become part of our lives.
I'm here visiting my brother Charles Bree.
Okay, and where are you from?
California.
And how did he end up all the way over here?
He got caught up.
He got caught up in some.
In Texas, it's crazy.
I don't feel the time he got was it didn't match the.
It didn't match the crime.
A lot of people what they get for that.
A lot of people from Cali, well, like their parents migrated from like Texas, Louisiana, and stuff like that. But I feel like there's most cities in every country. They come from Mississippi, like my family from Mississippi, but I live in Michigan, stuff like that.
Crime. I feel that they railroaded him because of who the victim was and who the victim knew. The victim was related to the chief of police. They didn't even really give him a chance.
What was the crime and what was the time?
Murder, self-defense, and they gave him 50 years. They said he was guilty before they even said he was guilty. They said he was guilty 3 days before they even put the real motion, like, okay, you're guilty. Like,
no,
we are sacrificing, but it's a sacrifice that I don't mind.
It's because they railroaded my son, and like a crime was committed.
Yes.
But he was fighting for his life at the same time. Like, tell him that we love him, we praying for him. Charlie, I got you, baby.
Tell him keep his head up and, just inspire others in there.
And what role does religion play in y'all's life?
Religion played the biggest role in my life because if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for my relationship with Jesus, then me and you wouldn't even be talking right now.
You're going to hear religion mentioned a lot in this episode, so for reference, we're talking to a group of guys who are involved in the Christian ministries within the prison.
I used to be on the other side, now I'm on the best side. So our objective is to show them, remind them that, hey, brother, you might feel alone, but you're not alone. You might feel left out, but you're not left out. You might feel like nobody care about you, but we're here to show you that somebody do care about you.
Big thank you to the wardens and all the administration here. This is an unbelievable opportunity to talk to these gentlemen, to learn. I'm honored to be here. To wardens around the country, if you can invite us in, we'd love to come talk to you, your men, your people as well. It's a blessing to be here.
I like that shirt you got on.
I appreciate you.
Mainstream media. Rest in peace, mainstream media. I pray for these brothers. I pray for their families. But I pray you show them grace and mercy in that. Because your word tells us that if they visit the least of these, that they visit you.
We just prayed. Now we're moving on to the gym. Because really the goal of this is to show people's life and story and situation and learn. I'm hoping we can do that in the gym. And maybe the warden feels a little better and we go other places too.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up let y'all brothers speak. Y'all can all say whatever, however, 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever y'all wanna give about yourselves, about what y'all do, where y'all coming from. Then we're gonna have some of the peer influencers speak up a little bit, say what they do here on the unit, and then start doing a little bit of other things that we got involved for it.
It's that fun, man. I think it'll be a good day.
Are we gonna get to eat the lunch here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the actual lunch?
You want to eat that? No, you don't want to eat that.
I want to try it.
You want to try it?
I want to try it.
All right, we'll take you. You want just the regular?
I'll do a food review, yeah. The crab and the ribeye, please, okay?
The crab and the ribeye?
What's for dessert? Is there like a hot fudge sundae or something?
Oh, man.
Cheesecake?
Cheesecake. We got homemade cheesecake out of cookies.
What are your best recipes you got in here for making stuff?
I like to do a fish bowl. Summer sausages, jalapenos, pickles, the mackerel, original mackerel. Then I put sriracha mac and I put a tuna. And some jalapeno
so that's when the fish come in later.
I'll probably be eating pickles all day.
This is like a little thing for Glow that we do every Friday. And we're gonna do a little bit of performing, front line, and we're gonna do a little bit of rap.
I made the personal choice to become a better individual, to become a better man.
And I fell into the street life. I succumbed to the elements of the street. If I was gonna be a gangster, I was gonna be the hardest gangster there ever was. I was involved at the highest level of criminality. For a homicide I did not do, I took the blame because I didn't, snitch on nobody. I finally realized that I needed to use my influence in a positive and productive way. I renounced my membership in the gang and just started doing positive things on my cell block. And I'm out here in the free world doing the same thing that I was doing in there, but out here modeling it.
I had no idea until about 10 minutes before that I was going to be going up to give a speech in front of the inmates. Not only was I nervous, but I wanted to say something that actually mattered to these guys. Here's what I came up with.
Hello, fellas. How you guys doing today? So, my name is Tommy G. I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I'm here today to talk to you guys, get your stories, hear about your life, hear your perspective. But I want to tell you 2 stories that might give you hope right now. There was a time in my life about 4 years ago, I hated my job, I hated where I was in life, I wasn't happy. What I did is I wrote a list, ideas that can change my life, and I just one by one started executing on them. One of them was a documentary film on a group in my hometown, Milwaukee, called the Kia Boys. I documented their life, what they do. The Kia Boys are a bunch of teenagers that will take your Kia if they can find it. And I knew this is my path to be a documentary filmmaker. So I just want you to have the hope that there's one little thing that can pivot and change your life and shift you into the path that you want to go. Another thing I want to say, one of my best friends on earth, when he was in his 20s, he robbed 6, 7, 8 banks in California. He served 10 years in California. He's been out for 20 years. He's a family man. He's a multi-millionaire. All right? And he's someone that I love a lot. Brothers, I'm excited to talk to you. I'm excited to interview you. Come up and say hi to me, and thank you for having me today. That's something I never expected to do, but I'm glad I did. When life serves you on a path, sometimes you just gotta run and take it, even if it feels a little scary. If there's something you need to pull the trigger on in your life, what are you waiting for?
Whatever y'all doing and whatever y'all dreaming about doing, or whatever goals y'all making, bro, just don't give up, bro. I love y'all.
How many of us wanted to be famous when we were kids? Raise your hand. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would become famous for something I would regret later in life. I'm the very first person convicted for murder off of social media.
If you look up Tienda versus State, I'm the very first one convicted through the United States. I'm posting pictures of myself, but because I had gang-related tattoos, they were saying that I was staying in contact or recruiting gang members. And then somebody started talking to me negatively on social media, so I started talking negative back, and that led into incriminating myself.
It wasn't until a man came up to my cell one day and asked to pray for me. And you know what I did? The monster in me, I cussed this man out. F-bombs, the Lord names in vain. Come to find out, he was a unit chaplain. And as he's praying for me, I stop a mid-sentence to stop, because he said that I would go back to population. I told him I'm in SEG. How am I going to go back to population? My God could do the impossible. Do you actually believe in your life God could do the impossible? Yeah. Not only did God restore my family, my mom came to see me. And it wasn't until she came to Cofield and I finally got to hug my mother after 5 years in a soft voice. She tells me like an angel, I'm so proud of you. God bless, and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be taking the steps today. Thank you, gentlemen.
Usually on Saturday, you go to church. That's probably about the only thing that we got to look forward to on the weekend. Church services, unless they have an event like this that we can come to. You know, but you know, most of the time, you got to get laid in. You got to know somebody that'll put you in. Monday through Friday, well, it all depends on what you're doing for yourself. Either you get involved in school, spiritual-based classes, or you can just get stuck on the wing and do nothing.
What do a lot of the guys do here to pass time?
Me, I'm involved in spiritual-based classes. Right now, I'm involved in culinary arts class, so pretty much every day of the week, I'm involved in class.
So 2 questions that a lot of people in society are asking right now. Number 1 is, does prison rehabilitate people? And number 2 is it the job of prison to rehabilitate people?
Well, so I can say this. I just did 14 years down here. I stepped out for about a year and a half. You know, it boils down to what the person wants to do. You know, I know before I left, I wrote down a bunch of things that I didn't want to do, and I guess I still desired to do those things. I still wanted to use drugs. You know, thanks to God, I came back with an 8-year sentence, and then this time, you know, my whole perception of prison has changed. To me, I see it as a school. You know, you have a lot of opportunities. So I'm taking advantage of every opportunity down here.
Out there 8.5 years of solitary confinement.
8.5 years?
8.5 years solitary.
In a row?
In a row.
How did you survive that mentally?
Mentally, I read, I prayed, I worked out. I kept my mind focused. You know, don't get me wrong, I see people commit suicide, come out, get killed, get stabbed, you know, the whole 9 yards. But I seen it all, man. Himself, you name it.
When a prisoner is deemed too dangerous for the general population, they are sent to a place designed to isolate and contain solitary confinement. Here, they are locked in a windowless cell, no larger than a parking space, for up to 23 hours a day. Their only reprieve each day is a brief hour for exercise alone in another cage. Days blur into weeks, weeks stretch into years, and some inmates endure this for decades. This raises an unsettling question. Does solitary confinement cross the line into inhumane punishment, or is this a necessary evil? What do you do with inmates who have relentlessly and brutally attacked fellow prisoners or guards? This is a question that we as a society are still figuring out.
Do you think that should be allowed?
Once you break it, for example, like, okay, you probably can get through the window, but it's like, they ain't gonna do nothing but put you right back in there.
Put a human in solitary confinement for 8 years?
So much.
No, I think that's humane because I believe people deserve a chance. Now, if they're a threat to everybody, yeah, I mean, I can see what they're talking about, you know, but I mean, they would have to be a real serial killer, like knock down.
That's a psychological aspect. I did 5.5 years in cell. You know, not everybody's mentally strong. You know, people are chemically imbalanced. I mean, not everybody can deal with the solitude back there.
They dropping bars because they behind them all day. That's what I can write to.
Have you eaten yet today?
No, not yet.
Normally, is breakfast served earlier? You just didn't go?
Oh, yeah, it's too early for me. Breakfast is approximately about, I'd say, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Breakfast is at 3 or 4 in the morning?
And it's not very filling. Well, just due to the schedule, because it's such a large unit, I would believe on other units, they probably serve at different times. But on Coatfield, it used to be at 2 o'clock, believe it or not. So, in the morning. So
and then you go back to sleep.
And then you got to go back to sleep. And a lot of people have to get up and go to school and things of that nature there. So people are in general used to get up around about 3 o'clock and starting our day then, and then we'll end up going to bed around about 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them. Bring them. Finish it. Bring them. Finish it. Go deep. Finish it. Bring them. Let's go deep. Give me 10. Give me 10. Y'all watching. Everybody watching.
Tommy G love doing them push-ups against people.
How many push-ups you do today?
Man, probably like 250, 300. That's just an exercise. But them right there, that's something different.
What's the most you've done in a day?
Oh, probably like 1,000. 100 sit-ups, 200 squats, something to keep it going.
We just want to say, man, we both from the Arlington, Texas, man. So shout out to Agtown, Texas, man.
Shout out to the Ag, man.
You know what's great? Let me show you how good God is, man. We used to be enemies in the world.
Yeah, man.
Right? We literally used to beef with each other. Like, for real.
Try to kill each other out there.
But now look at God. You know what I'm saying? Now we doing ministry together.
So back in the day, you guys used to beef. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, so we both got two different reasons why the beef started, which is funny. So the beef started from my perspective is because One of my partners who is dead now, rest in peace, Shot Merck.
Yeah.
Right, he got jumped on his side of town. So then me and my partners went to his side of town, and we ended up jumping on his partners. And then to him, that was the birth of the beef.
When they jumped my people, they thought we jumped his people. I'm like, man, nah. So we really just, we clashed and started really killing each other for nothing, man.
And that's what I'm saying.
I know I had like 3 on my side.
Nobody from my side died, but I lost more homeboys to the system than I have to death.
And how far did each squad live away from each other?
Man, we went 10 minutes apart.
Yeah, we about about 10 minutes.
What does it feel like now to have peace and love for each other?
I mean, it's good. I mean,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it make me think about all the life lost and
that
years
lost, man,
wasted, only to conclude that we all right.
Yeah. Nah, for real. That's what it is.
The only reason we're in here today is because of this man here, Sambo. Tell the people your story.
Well, I did 30 years in prison for murder I didn't do, but God put it in my heart to come back to prison after doing 30 flat years.
Tell me about the innovative programs TDCJ is offering.
TDC offers a vast array of innovative programs. They offer the Field Minister program, they offer the Faith-Based Dorm program, they offer the Self-Harm program. TDCJ has put these programs in place, but they're all volunteers, so it's up to the offender to take advantage and to seize the opportunity and make the most of it, to acquire the tools that they need while they're incarcerated, so that way they can come out here to the free world and have the tools that they need to reenter back into society in its proper context.
So today I walk as a father, a husband, and a man of God. But my example is one so that I can give inspiration and motivation to the brothers that are locked up.
Tell me about your 11 years of administrative segregation.
It was a time of reflection and introspection. You know, I was there because the system couldn't control me because of my violent nature. But while I was in there, I had to sit back and realize that I had more value, more self-worth, that I was able to be more than just a TDCJ number, that I had the ability to give back. And God first.
One big question we have to tackle is, when is the right time to release someone back into society? How can we evaluate when someone is truly changed and is no longer a threat to safety? The U.S. Department of Justice ran a 24-state study and concluded that 82% of inmates were arrested at least once more within 10 years of release. But why is this? Environment, job opportunities, socioeconomics. I mean, we are talking about millions of men that are oftentimes locked up during what is supposed to be the most productive and fruitful years of their life. And it's a shame, but I have one idea that might help. Most of these guys are released from prison without a dollar to their name, so many return to the same ways to make money that got them locked up in the first place. What if instead of these guys working for free, like they do in Texas, or 9 cents an hour like they do in Illinois, what if we paid them a little bit more, so that when a man who has served and worked for 10 years gets out, he has a nest egg in which he can rent an apartment, pay for transportation, and buy the necessities he needs to exist in the free world. Maybe I'm just a pot-smoking hippie for saying this, but if the goal is to truly rehabilitate these men and make society better, then let's put our money where our mouth is.
How many people are in each cell?
2-man cells, man. These cells are so small. It's like a 6 by 9. You hear them? About 54.
You can't even fit 2 dogs.
Yeah, you can't. It's a cage.
So, what else do you have to think about living in a cell with another person?
Everything you do. You have to think about everything. You have to think about how loud you get up. If you're on top bunk, you can't step on the bottom bunk. You might wake him up. You have to think about everything. You can't drop things. You know what I'm saying? You got everything if you're respectful. You know what I'm saying?
What do you wish would change about the justice system?
I wish that they would really take an individual and look at the history that he has in his prison and the true change that he made. It's a lot of brothers in here that had committed crimes as kids and they're still in prison with too high sentences. And they've changed their lives. They done went to college. They done all type of things that get ignored, unfortunately.
By show of hands, who would say they grew up in poverty? Show of hands, how many of you had your father in your life growing up as a kid? How many of you didn't? Do you feel like that was a big reason why you chose the path you did, was a lack of a father?
Of course, of course.
My father was there. It was more so the attention. You know what I mean? I lived in the household with my dad, but
he didn't show me that fatherly attention that I expected from my father. That's why I lacked that.
How many you think in some way prison was actually a blessing for your life?
Like your dad in your life, but he just your dad, like he just there kinda, you know what I'm saying? So I get that.
Some way prison was actually a blessing for your life.
I'm here a lot of people.
Somebody called the doctor, cause I'm sick of this. In my heart, it was blacker than some licorice. And just like cinnamon, it was hard to swallow. Yeah, my old lifestyle, it was hard to follow. But Christ came, my life changed. He renewed my mind, new mind frame, filled with the Spirit. That's how I maintain. Now I do everything in Jesus' name. But it took me to getting locked up to find freedom. Met Christ and I realized I really need him. Cause like the children of Israel, I was lost people. Now I'm playing the role of Moses cause I'm trying to lead them.
Tommy G always got the good videos. Shout out to him. Shout out to the inmates that didn't change their life in there, man. And keep y'all head up high. I enjoyed that, but if y'all enjoyed my reaction, it's my reaction channel. Got a main channel, Scoop Crazy.